actually evolved into the way I eat and the way I cook, and it all started a few years back when my dad actually suffered a very tragic illness, and he survived it, but it was a heart-related incident that really made me interested in learning about food and something's going on with food when it interacts in our bodies. And in my studies, I came to find out that veganism is really the healthiest way to eat and live. And along that journey, I started cooking and really discovered how delicious and easy vegan cooking is. So now I want to share that with the world. I really want to spread the message through one-on-one cooking classes and public cooking classes, and I really feel like once you show people how delicious food can be, that they'll learn and want to do it for themselves too. So I'm going to start cooking the millet now. It does take a little while for this grain to cook, about 30 minutes, so we want to get it going early. Here I've got 2 cups of millet. This millet has been rinsed. Oftentimes there can be a filmy coating on the outside that can come out tasting bitter, so for best results, always rinse your grains before cooking. So we've got 2 cups of millet. We'll add to our saucepan. And for this recipe, we want the millet to be extra moist, so we're going to use 4 cups of water. So we'll add this to the pan. And we want to bring this up to a boil first. We'll cover it. Once it reaches a boil, we'll reduce it to a simmer and we'll let it simmer for about 30 minutes until all the water has been absorbed. So our millet has finished cooking, and you can see all the water has been absorbed, and as I mentioned, we want the millet a little bit more moist of a texture for this dish, so it's really perfect right now. It's important when you're cooking grains that you don't add salt till the product has been cooked. The reason why is that if you add salt in the beginning, it actually can toughen the grains during the cooking process, which you don't want. So we'll wait till the end to add our salt and pepper. And now we're going to add in nutritional yeast. Nutritional yeast is a great ingredient for vegans, and you want to have your nutritional yeast, which is an excellent source of B12. Also, very nutty and almost cheese-like in its smell, so it's a very, very delicious seasoning to use as well. So we're going to add in 1/3 cup of nutritional yeast to our millet. You can smell the aroma already, it's delicious. So we're going to mix this really thoroughly so that everything's incorporated. Okay, great. So now we've got a casserole dish. We're going to lightly grease this, and we'll use grapeseed oil. And just put a little dab on a paper towel and just rub that around the bottoms and the sides of the pan. This will help to make sure that the millet doesn't stick to the pan too much during the baking process. Now we're going to take 2/3 of the millet that's cooked here and press it into the bottom of the pan. So take your spoon and spread it through the bottom of the pan. And press down gently as you do this. Okay, so you can see the millet has been pressed into the bottom of the pan. Now what we're going to do is add our vegetables on top of this. It's important here that you lift the vegetables out of the pan so that you don't transfer the extra juices to the casserole. Millet is actually one of the grains too that is a gluten-free grain. So if you have an allergy to wheat, as many people do, millet is approved for a gluten-free diet. So as you can see, as I'm putting in the vegetables, they're kind of pressing down to help everything kind of be cohesive in here. You really want a good thick layer of vegetables in here. So give it one more good press down. And now we're going to take the remaining third of our millet and put it on top. So you kind of want to scatter this around as you add it to the pan. And now we'll just kind of smooth it and press it around. It's okay if it doesn't cover every little bit of the vegetables, because that'll allow some of the steam to escape as it bakes, but you want to cover most of it. And this top layer of millet is going to get a nice crust and crunch to it as it cooks. So here's how it should look as you're going to transfer it to the oven. So we're going to go ahead and pop it in the oven at 375 degrees for 20 to 25 minutes. Okay, it's been about 20 minutes, so let's go check on the casserole. Great. It's all done. So we've got a nice crust on the top here and a little golden brown, so we'll go ahead and dig in. Scoop a nice portion out of here. And we'll just top this with some fresh basil. And there we go. There's our comforting millet and vegetable bake. So let's give this a taste. Make sure you get some vegetables and grains. It's delicious. The bottom level of the millet is soft and chewy, and the top is nice and crunchy. It's great. For more information and recipes like this, please visit my website, www.purelifechef.com. Thank you for watching Vegetarianism, the Noble Way of Living. Stay tuned for Between Master and Disciples.
For more details, please visit www.suprememastertv.com/VEG